இந்த ஃபெஸ்டிவல் சீசனுக்கு பிளாக்பஸ்டர் வண்ணங்கள் எல்லாம் டிஷ்யூ தோத்தி ஷர்ட்ஸ்.
4 நாள் பயணமாக சென்னை வந்துள்ள மத்திய அரசின் 16வது நிதி ஆணையக் குழு சென்னை கிண்டியில் உள்ள தனியார் நட்சத்திர விடுதியில் தொழில் அரசியல் கட்சிகளுடன் ஆலோசனை மேற்கொண்டது. இந்த ஆலோசனை கூட்டத்திற்கு பிறகு நிதி ஆணையக் குழு தலைவர் அரவிந்த் வனகாரியா செய்தியாளர்களை சந்தித்து வருகிறார். அதனை
local bodies, both urban and rural. They also include some disaster relief grants, and in addition, there may be state-specific and sector-specific grants. So that is the general mandate. We started our work around mid-February of this year, and what this work also requires, among other things, is very extensive consultation, including with every single state. So traditionally, every single state, we start to go. So you can see that is a very long drawn process. With 28 states, even if we visit one state per week, which we are not able to do, it will take 7 months to visit the states alone. And then there are consultations with other bodies as well. So there's a lot of travel involved in this. At this point, obviously, the Commission cannot have reached any conclusions as to how precisely it is going to do the devolution, how the vertical devolution will be done, and then what criteria will go into the determination of the horizontal devolution across the 28 states. Now coming to the deliberations today, the Honorable Chief Minister gave a short speech in which he emphasized that our approach should be to do this devolution such that it promotes the national interest, but it also promotes the interests of all the states. That was the sort of overarching theme of his speech. Then we had a very, very long presentation. As you can see, I'm holding the presentation here. It's quite heavy, and it has something between 130 to 140 pages to it. And the presentation was done very painstakingly, very systematically. And when I described the presentation after it had been completed, what I called it was that this was a master class for any commission. It was by far the most and most comprehensive, very analytic presentation, and the state really made as good a case that as any state could have made for its own interests. Now, the presentation, as I said, is very long, so obviously it goes in depth into a number of different issues. But the broad, I think, broad suggestions of interest here have to do with the vertical and horizontal devolution. State made the case that currently the division of the divisible pool between the center and states is 41% for the states and 59% for the central government. And then, of course, these other grants that I mentioned, local body grants, the disaster relief grants, sectoral grants, etc., they all come out of the central government budget as well. So in the end, actually, even though it may appear 41-59, it much more also furthermore comes from the central funds into the goes to the states and local bodies and so forth. So that is the current. On that, the recommendation of the state was that it be the state share in the divisible pool be raised to 50%. Now, this is a recommendation we have been given by almost every state. Maybe there might be one or two exceptions where the figure may have been 45% instead of 50. What was different, I think, about Tamil Nadu was that as opposed to most other states which simply say that this is our recommendation, Tamil Nadu's presentation really went in depth to make the case why it should be done 50%. On horizontal, then, the state had very detailed suggestions regarding how the criteria ought to be changed. Now, one of the running themes of this presentation was that over time, the commissions have not served the interest of Tamil Nadu well, and whereas, if you go back to the 9th commission or so, the state share was significantly larger, maybe around 7%. I'm just 7%.
4 நாள் பயணமாக சென்னை வந்துள்ள மத்திய அரசின் 16வது நிதி ஆணையக்குழு சென்னை கிண்டியில் உள்ள தனியார் நட்சத்திர விடுதியில் தொழில் அரசியல் கட்சிகளுடன் ஆலோசனை மேற்கொண்டது. இந்த ஆலோசனை கூட்டத்திற்கு பிறகு நிதி ஆணையக்குழு தலைவர் அரவிந்த் வனகாரியா செய்தியாளர்களை சந்தித்தார். அப்போது மத்திய அரசின் நிதி பகிர்வு தொடர்பாக அதிகாரிகளுடன் ஆலோசித்ததாகவும் மாநில வளர்ச்சிக்கு தமிழக முதலமைச்சர் ஸ்டாலின் பல்வேறு கோரிக்கைகளை முன்வைத்துள்ளார் என்றும் தெரிவித்தார். மேலும் அவர் பேசியவற்றை பின்னர் வரும் செய்தி தொகுப்பில் விரிவாக பார்க்கலாம்.
இந்த ஃபெஸ்டிவல் சீசனுக்கு பிளாக் பஸ்டர் வண்ணங்கள் எல்லாம் ஷர்ட்ஸ்